5 months. 5 months since those innies broke free. And this episode, well, it just throws us right back into the thick of it. So many questions. So many wild theories about where things are headed.
The episode wastes no time messing with our heads. Look at Helly.
Oh, yeah.
End of season 1, boom, she's the CEO's daughter now. She's lying about her Audi life.
I know.
Mark and Irving, totally open about their experiences.
Right. It makes you wonder, is she trying to protect herself? Like distance herself from her family? And Lumon, that whole gardener thing?
I know.
A little too convenient.
You'd think if she just wanted to be treated normally, she'd just, tell the truth.
But there's got to be more to it.
Definitely. Maybe she's afraid of her family pulling strings. Or maybe it's something bigger. Like, what if she's playing everyone?
And the way she acts around the computer.
I know. It's like she's never used one before.
It's creepy.
Maybe it's an act, like she's been trained to play dumb. Double agent.
Oh, that's good. Makes you think, can they trust each other?
Yeah.
They're already in a crazy situation.
Speaking of trust, there's Dylan and that innie family visitation suite. Milchick specifically tells him to keep it quiet.
Right. Is that a good thing or just another way to control them? Milchick's all about control, isn't he?
Oh, totally. I bet he wants them fighting amongst themselves.
These innies have tasted freedom. They're back in Lumon now, but they know there's something else.
Exactly. This whole secret thing could really throw them off.
So, will Dylan stay loyal to the group? Or will he side with Milchick? Tough spot.
The writers are really ramping up the tension. Whatever Dylan does, it's going to have huge consequences.
Okay, but can we talk about Mark and that Cold Harbor program? Seeing Miss Casey on that screen.
Oh, yeah, that was creepy.
And those boxes. Ooh, Dr. FC Ma, what even is that?
It's like something out of a nightmare. I think Lumon's up to something way worse than we thought. Those boxes, I think they're the 4 tempers. Whoa, frolic, dread, malice.
What?
Yeah. Like, what if they're trying to control how the innies feel?
Control their emotion.
Yep. And remember, we still don't know what macrodata refinement actually does. What if they're not just refining data? What if they're messing with it to control people? Could be connected to Cold Harbor.
You think Lumon could be using data to, control people's behavior? That's scary.
Think about it. They can already split your mind in two. If they can control your emotions, too, the possibilities are terrifying.
That's only a dark turn. And then there's Miss Heang, new supervisor. Young. Intense.
She's like a robot. So cold.
I know, right? Some people think she might be connected to Miss Cobell. Maybe even a result of Lumon's experiments.
They do have similar vibes. And that shot of the computer screen when they introduce her, Cobell, definitely on purpose.
This episode is full of mysteries. It's like we're getting a peek behind the curtain, but what we see is disturbing.
For sure. And Irving, he's really struggling with losing Bert.
I know.
It makes him question his whole existence as an innie.
And Mark is determined to get his work family back. It shows how much those relationships mean to them.
When your whole life is work, those people become everything, like your only reality.
This show really makes you think about how important those connections are, even in the messed up world of Lumon.
Definitely.
Wow. This is just the start, and I feel like it's going to get really intense.
Oh, I think so too. This season, it's like they're going all in on the psychology of it all.
Right.
Mark trying to make sense of his 2 lives, Helly dealing with her family being Lumon royalty, Irving freaking out about maybe not even existing anymore.
It's like, what even is real in this show?
Yeah.
Makes you think.
Even visually, they're playing with that. Like that first scene, Mark running through those hallways.
Slight hallways.
Total metaphor for being trapped.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Right.
And the color, well, the lack of color. Lumon's all sterile white.
Blank slate.
Right. No past for the innies, just what Lumon gives them.
And then there's blue.
Yeah.
Lumon blue everywhere.
You think calm, trustworthy, but here, it's kind of creepy.
It's like, control, do what you're told.
And you're always being watched. Always. But then every once in a while, you get a splash of something else. Red, green, like rebellion.
Like Gwendolyn in her red outfits. Maybe a hint about Helly.
Yeah, maybe. It's like the colors are telling their own story, adding another layer to it all.
Speaking of layers, the whole work family thing is getting even more intense. Mark needs his old team back. Dylan begs Irving to stay.
Severance makes work everything. It's literally all they have. Makes you think about your own life, your own work friends.
If that was all you had,
Yeah.
it would change things.
Definitely. And then bam, that ending. Mark finds Cold Harbor, and Miss Casey's face pops up.
I know, right?
Gave me chills.
Lumon is doing some seriously messed up stuff. The 4 tempers. Whoa. Frolic, dread, malice. What if it's not just about what the innies do?
But how they feel.
Exactly.
That's terrifying.
It's like Lumon's playing God, messing with the core of what makes us human. And then you have Miss Heang. So young. So in charge.
She's like not even real. Like some kind of, I don't know, advanced innie or something. Maybe she's another one of Lumon's creations. Connected to Cobell somehow.
So many questions. It's like they're showing us more, but what we're seeing is, I don't know, just feels wrong.
Totally. And Irving, losing Bert, it's messing with him.
Yeah.
Makes him wonder if being an innie is even worth it.
And Mark. He's got to get his work family back. It shows how much they need each other.
Severance takes those relationships and makes them everything. They're it. They're only reality.
It makes you think about your own life and what matters.
For sure. This show, it's both terrifying and, well, human.
Yeah, you get it.
They're going through some crazy stuff, but
Yeah.
they still feel real. They grieve, they laugh, they're scared.
They hope, just like us. That's what makes it so good.
Severance. Sci-fi, sure, but it's really about us.
Yeah.
About who we are. About control. About searching for meaning when everything around you is changing. It makes you think, even after it's over.
This is just the start of the season. Like, what does it even mean to be a person when your mind is split like that? The innies, they're just trying to figure out who they are, and the outies are dealing with, well, the consequences.
The whole idea of identity. It's not just about one person, though, is it?
No, it's bigger.
It's about free will. In a world where companies like Lumon, well, they can do whatever they want, do we really have control over our own lives?
Or were we all just cogs in a machine, right?
Yeah. And the line between work and life.
It's practically gone.
For everyone, not just the severed folks.
And if your memories can be changed, your experiences, how do you even know who you are? What matters?
Good question. For those innies, work is all they have.
Their whole world.
It gives them meaning, even if it's, a messed up kind of meaning.
It makes me wonder, could we already be living in some kind of simulation?
Ooh.
What if our memories, our relationships, everything is just like made up?
Trippy. But Severance does a good job with it,
Yeah, it's smart.
Makes you think. What are we willing to do with technology? Is there a line we shouldn't cross?
Big questions.
But for all the sci-fi stuff, it's still a human story,
Oh, totally.
That's what makes it work. Even in that crazy world, you care about them.
You see them feeling everything.
Mm.
Sadness, happiness, fear.
Hope reminds you that no matter how weird things get, we're all looking for the same stuff. Connection. Purpose. A place to belong.
And that's what makes Severance so good. It gets in your head.
Yeah.
But it also gets to you,
It's entertaining, but it's also deep.
I think this season's going to be wild.
I'm hooked.
So, what do you all think so far? What are your predictions? Head to the comments. Let us know. And if you haven't seen it yet, Severance. Prime Video. There's even a free trial. Links in the description. You won't regret it. We'll be back next week to unpack even more. Until then, keep thinking.